Yeah. Nobody knows whether or not Rocket's acquisition of Redfin is going to turn into a higher level of e-selling or direct to the consumer selling, but my guess is probably not. And here's why. Stronger, bigger, larger companies have tried it and it didn't go well. Okay. The company that tried it last, that had the absolute best chance of making any of that work, started with the Z, and you all know who it is. And when they tried it, they literally lost like $25 million in a quarter. So the world is not quite ready, in my opinion, to eliminate the real estate agent. I don't think they'll ever be ready to eliminate the real estate agent. I truly believe that. I think that the number of real estate agents will shrink because as technology comes along and gets better, and as things become more streamlined and the need for us as a body starts to shrink, then obviously there's just going to be less demand for us. But the true real estate agent will always be needed and always be wanted and always be part of the transaction. It's just too much money. It happens too infrequently, and it's too scary for someone to decide, I'm going to do this entire process online, right? I'm going to do this entire process online. So what do I think that Rocket Mortgage's motivation for merging with Redfin is? And I think it's more about the portal wars. Are you guys familiar with the portal wars, the real estate portal wars? You know, Zillow, Homes.com, Redfin, they all want your attention and your clicks, right? They want you to use, you, the consumer, or you, the agent, or anybody to use their platform to search for real estate. Now, Redfin is like number 3, and I don't remember the data, but it was an ungodly amount of clicks that they get and that they process through their portal. Well, now Rocket Mortgage has the ability to put their ad, their name, their special rate, their click here for your lending, whatever, all of that stuff on Redfin's portal. And so although probably the largest mortgage originator there is right now in the country, they're about to get bigger. So I really think that for them, it's about product placement, which means we're going to put our product, which is mortgage, and we're going to feature it in a very different way on this very, very popular real estate search portal. We're going to offer combining services so that you can click here if you want to talk to an agent. You can click here if you want to get a mortgage, and that's going to make them a lot more money. That's probably, that, in my opinion, that's why they're doing it, and that's their motivation, not their motivation to eliminate the real estate agent, go to redfin.com, buy a house online, get a mortgage online, call it a day. The Carvana mentality. I don't think that we're ready for that in real estate quite yet. Does anybody, I'm looking at you, Alan, the one that likes to argue the most. Does anybody have a strong opinion? Otherwise, do you think that it's the time for the iBuyer or oh, did he just drop off? He's like, no way, Damian, I'm out of here. Anybody else think that there's a time for the iBuyer, or that we should have some concern? Brianna, you got your hand up. What's going on?
I have a strong opinion on the other side. So the first purchase we made right before we got married was on auction, and we were told, submit your stuff, blah, blah, blah. We'll approve you. It'll be a special rate. And we didn't know what we were doing. I didn't have whoa, somebody's calling me. I didn't have my license at the time, so we tried, and we should have gotten approved, but we didn't. And they told us we were. And so I called my dad in a panic, and he's like, let me talk to this person.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were so young. I mean, we had no clue what we were doing.
Right.
And they're literally, and this is just what I'm anticipating is going to happen with Rocket. These people aren't true lenders. They're reading from a script, and they don't actually know how to answer, questions, simple questions. And I don't remember what my dad asked, but he ended up we went with a different lender and we closed in less than a month once we made that. But it was like 90 days in, and we were like, we gave our notice, we moved out, we were like in my in-laws upstairs. It was horrible.
Yeah. Was that
So
was that auction.com?
I'll have to go look. It was our Doughost house.
Mhm.
But it was something like that. I mean, I was bidding online. We knew what we were approved up to with their lender that they
Right.
insisted we use, but they
Right.
couldn't get the job done.
Mm-hmm. And you
So
ended up buying the house, but you could have lost it.
yeah, oh totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
we ended up getting it thanks to an actual mortgage broker that knew what he was doing,
Right.
not
Uh,
just reading from a script. But yeah, I mean, that's just my 2 cents on the other end. I could see that easily happening. They're going to grow too fast and they're not going to, have any experience.
yeah. I mean, you've got it when the difference between a company like that that's an online kind of platform and a lender in an office is that you're absolutely right. You can have and Brendan can probably speak better to this. You can have an awful lot of processors or order takers manning the computers and manning the phones versus tried and true loan agents, loan originators, those type of people, and that there's a real risk unless it's just really cut and dry. W2, no debt, really, really cut and dry. It can absolutely be a huge problem. Brandon, anything to add with all your mortgage experience about the Rocket acquisition? Any concern there as far as impact to us as real estate agents,
No.
other than make sure your clients don't use Rocket Mortgage?
Yeah, not at this point in time, and I think that, yeah, there I mean, it turns into I think you kinda nailed it. When they get bigger, it gets tougher for them. It's kinda like Bank of America. Once you are in that system, you have, like, 5 different people that handle your file, right?
Hmm.
It gets passed on and passed on and passed on, and you really don't know, you don't have an advisor that helps you. And I think it just takes one time, one experience for people to go, I don't want to do this. Unfortunately, it might take that one time though, where people go, well, let's try it. Their
Hmm.
branding is good. And I almost look at it like they just bought another advertisement portal, basically, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere to hang their banner.
Yep.
Um, in regards to real estate, I can tell you I have a transaction going on with Open Door right now. And it's really interesting because, if you have Open Door represent you, you do not they won't actually represent you. You're going in blind as a buyer with no representation,
Hmm.
and if you do that, they tell you up front that you can't advocate for yourself, you cannot ask for repairs, you cannot, it's all basically here, take it or leave it. Um, so it's you get the property for I think like 2% less, less the buyer's agent commission,
Right.
but you have no opportunity to, knock down the price if there's issues with the house. You have no opportunity if the appraisal comes in bad to negotiate. There's nobody there advocating for you.
That's dirty.
Yeah. So I
Straight dirty.
So I think that's the thing, right? Is buyers need somebody to walk them through the process, use all of their contacts, and help them succeed in a good transaction that's good for them instead of just good for the seller, right?
I mean, is there anybody I almost said room, anybody on this call that's repped a buyer in the past that you absolutely positively it wouldn't have made a difference if you were there or not because the transaction was just that smooth? Has that ever happened to anyone? No, absolutely not. At some point in time, you know, and some are easier than others. I get it, but your expertise along the way is being utilized and you don't even know it's being utilized. Like you don't even know it's being utilized. You're just talking about stuff that you go through on an everyday basis with every buyer in every situation that's just can of corn to you and habit to you, and it doesn't mean anything to you because you've done it 800 times, but it's a foreign language to the client. It's all brand new to the client. All of it, every single bit of it. And if they were in there unrepresented, hi Cindy, if they were in there hey, Cindy's in the house. Tennessee is in the house. If they were unrepresented, I mean, how the hell does that work, right? How the hell is some guy? I'm only going to say this for a minute, and then we're going to move on, I promise. But how the hell is some guy at a call center in Ohio going to help me buy my house in Placer County effectively? How's that going to work? It's just not going to work. And so I'll close this part with this. If you start to hear that, or if that comes up, or you've got clients or friends or prospects or whatever, they're like, oh, I'm going to just, do it through Open Door, or what's the other one? There's another one, Open Door, and the other big one.
Purple something. There's a
No,
couple.
they're gone. They're bankrupt.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, there's another one. Is it Nest? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, put it to them just like that. Hey, is it cool if a teenager at a call center in Ohio helps you buy your dream house? Is that cool with you? Like, are you all right with that? Because that's probably what's going to happen. Okay. These call centers aren't even in California. It's too expensive in California to run them, guys.
Imagine this too. I can barely coming out of Sacramento, I can barely go up the hill and do a transaction. Luckily, I have you guys to lean on, but I don't know about ditch water. I don't know about wells. I don't know about, you know what I mean? Like, how is somebody going to help you out in one of those counties where there's so many different nuances?
True story. Brendan sells a listing in Meadow Vista because the cheap SOB won't give it to me, right? So he sells a listing in Meadow Vista and he goes, and this is how you know we're family. No, I don't want you to do the listing. I'm going to do it, but I need you to come out and tell me what to do. So I said, okay. So we go out there and I'm looking around and I go, shit, Brandon, it looks like we got ditch water here. Is the domestic water supply ditch water? And he goes, what do you mean? What's ditch water? What does that mean? So yeah, exactly. True point. The person in Ohio is certainly not going to know about ditch water. Yeah, that's why I never panic about online buying. I never panic about e-buyer. I never panic about any of that, because if we're truly doing our jobs and if we truly care about our clients, nobody in a call center can compete with that. They just can't. They just can't. Neither can the discount agent that's W-2 agent at Redfin or wherever else, and they're getting a salary because they don't know how to sell real estate. Okay, they can't outdo you either. They absolutely cannot. Okay, let me see if I need to get into this or not. How many of you need me to show you quickly how to use DigiSign instead of DocuSign because you all freaked out when we lost DocuSign? How many of you need me to show you how to do that? Is there, Shelby? Okay, good. Anybody else? All right, let's do it. Yeah, Alan? Okay, good. All right, I'm going to do a screen share. I'm going to show you how awesome and easy this is. Let me make sure I have a document to upload though. I do on my desktop. Yeah, okay. Desktop number 1. I'm going to share it. Okay, ooh, I got boxes everywhere. Hang on, guys. Boxes everywhere. Okay. So the only way to get into SkySlope where DigiSign is through the intranet, right? You have to log on to the NextHome intranet. Over on the left-hand side are all the products. You click SkySlope and you'll end up here. SkySlope is our transaction bucket, obviously, and part of that transaction bucket is DigiSign, the digital signature portion. So let's imagine that I've got a form that I want signed. Now, full disclosure, you can generate every car form that we use from SkySlope and then automatically DigiSign it. And it's all integrated and it knows where to put the signatures and everything. And I don't know how to do that. And I don't want to know how to do that. But it is possible. Okay. For me, I just go to car forms. I make the form that I want. I download it. I save it in a PDF and I treat DigiSign like I do DocuSign. Make sense? Everybody with me so far? Nod if you're with me. Okay. So I'm going to click on the digital signature, which is DigiSign. And it's going to put me into this window. And let me shrink this box down too. A shrinked. Okay. And so then I end up on this screen. It's really, really easy. If I want to click new envelope, this is the part that's tricky. If you do it integrated with a transaction that you have in SkySlope, and again, I don't know how that works, you can choose the property, go through a set of menus, and it will put the appropriate transaction form in your DigiSign. But remember, we've got a PDF sitting on our desktop that we want to set up for a signature. So just say no property. You don't want to associate it with any property. That's going to drop you into this section. You're going to upload whatever you want signed. Let's see. Let's do this. The document's in there now. You can upload multiple documents just like DocuSign. You could put 100 of them in there just like DocuSign. And when you've got all your documents in, you're just going to say next. Okay. Now we're at the signature screen. If you've never used it before, you'll have to enter the users that you want signed. But for example, if you have used it before, then you can say there's Jessica. All right. It's going to drop her into the signature thing automatically. If you want to add somebody that you've never had before, you click new recipient. You put in their first name, last name, and their email, and then you can decide, are they a signer or are they a CC? Okay. If they're in here already, let's drop me in there. If they're in here already and you want to change them, you can just drag it down. See, this is the signing box. This is the CC box. So I don't want her to sign. I just want her to be CC'd. You drag it down to there and then say next. Okay. Actually, I want to toggle. I'm going to show you how to toggle. So I'm going to put Jess back up as a signer and then say next. Okay. So then we get down to it. You change the names here on what you want to happen. So let's have me sign first. Click the signature box one time. Do you see that blue dot or blue bar up there? That means it's activated. Now it's not activated. Now it's activated. All right, and now you see I've got a little X, right? If I put the X on the corner of where I want it to go, I just click it and there's the box. Click date, I've got an X, click the box, right? Switch signers, activate signature, click it, there it is. Click date, click it, there it is. I'm all done. I've got all my fields filled out. I click send. This is the cover sheet that comes with the document, right? All of it's editable. And then once you're good with that, we can say send for signature. If you're the creator and you've got a signature, you can sign while you're here. It acts just like DocuSign at this point. And then say you're done. You will get emails. You'll get email notifications that tell you when everybody's signed. You'll get email notifications when everything's done. It's really, really easy. In fact, I think I like it a little bit better than DocuSign, if I'm honest. It seems to go a little bit faster. I hate the dragging of the boxes that you used to have to do and make sure that your finger didn't come off the mouse and all of that stuff. That made me crazy. Okay, questions on DigiSign before we move on? Anybody? Are we good? What is going on with Cindy
I
over
have
there?
one question.
Shoot.
So none of the forms are downloaded in there. You have to download all the forms beforehand.
No, you used to use Glide, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I believe that, you know how your whole car form package was in Glide?
Yes.
I believe that it's the same with SkySlope. All of it's in there, and you can operate it much like you used to operate in Glide. I just don't know how to do it. So
Oh,
I do it the old-fashioned way.
oh, all right.
Yeah, it's just, oh, you're one of those. Gotcha. Yeah, no, so I think you can. and I just don't know how to do it, and I don't know how to train it. And there's probably a webinar, Shelby, in the intranet that shows you how to do it and go through it and how it works. And you're probably going to understand it immediately because of using Glide. But it's way over. It's like up here for me. It's gone. So I try to stay out of there. Mary doesn't want me in there anyways. She's like, please stop generating forms and sending them out for signatures. Don't do it ever again. All right. Questions there? No? Okay. So let's talk about KV Core. Where'd you guys go? There you are. Let's talk about KV Core. How many of you opened up KV Core and got your grade? Look at mine. Can you guys see that? Can everybody see it? Okay. If you haven't, this is pretty cool. When you open up your contacts in KV Core, you can see how you're doing as far as marketing is concerned. You'll get your grade, and then these boxes, if you have numbers in these boxes, like how many people are not on campaigns, you can click view and it will take you straight to all of the contacts that need attention. If you get all of these boxes tuned up and you get to 100%, you are marketing at a really, really good level. Okay. You're using the system to your advantage. You've all heard it by now, but you're generating 192,000 emails a year. Now, this is me. What happens if we go to the whole company? Not so good, right? So you can see company wide, we got issues. We got things that we got to tune up. Now, I'm going to be really, really clear. I don't care. Nobody's like, I'm not going to go through KV Core and say, oh boy, you know, Brendan, you've got, well, maybe with Brendan, but nobody else. You've got like 75 people that don't have a campaign, or, you know, you're not doing market reporting the way you should be doing market reporting or whatever. Boy, you got to tune that up. You got to make more calls. You got to do this. That's not me. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to do that. But if you don't do it, if you don't kind of like self-audit and take full advantage of that, you are missing out like big time. And the worst part of KV Core used to be like you had no idea. Like, okay, there's 1,000 people in there. Are they all set up right? Because who has time to go through all 1,000 of them, you know, one by one to make sure, do I have this going? Do I have this going? Do I have this going? Now you can skip all of that because you can go to the highlight reel and get done what you need to get done. Absolutely got to do it. Who has already checked it and been through it? Who's working on it right now? Brianna's working on it right now. Michael, didn't you go through it? Yeah. Karen, you went through it? Alan, we're not on your upload yet. Brendan,
Up to 87%.
You're at 87?
I went 1 point.
No, that's good. That's good. You would get the green box. That's a green box score. That's really good. Good job. Yeah. Do it, and do it now. And when we talk about the data and we talk about what's next, you'll understand why I'm saying, please do it right now. Okay. Please absolutely positively do it right now. And here's why. In Placer, here's some numbers for you. In Placer County, in the month of February, there were 602 listings. The listings were up 10%. In Sacramento County, there are 1,280 listings, up 1%. In Nevada County, 143 listings, up 19%. In El Dorado County, 288 listings, up 9%. Pendings, Placer, up 17%. Sacramento, up 11%. Nevada County, up 41%. El Dorado County, up 12%. You guys see what's happening? Brendan?
Is this compared to last year, or is this compared to last month? What is it? What is this?
Month over month. I'll give you year over year in just a minute. Yep. Good question. Month over month. That's January to February. All right. Year over year. February, year over year. Listings up, pendings flat, sold down. What's happening? And that's Metro list wide, by the way. I didn't have time to try and figure out what line was on the graph for what county because they're all multiple colors. But I would wager to say that's accurate in all of our primary counties. Listings up, pendings flat, sold down. What's happening? Where's the greatest opportunity right now?
It's spring.
Yep, spring. Where's the greatest opportunity right now? What do you need to be ready for right now? And why? We've been talking about it for 6 months. Listing inventory is freeing up more than just spring, right? More than just it's spring. Over last year, more than it's just spring. There's more opportunity to list properties because more people are deciding, you know what, I'm not going to wait anymore. I'm going to list my house for sale. Okay. I'm tired of waiting. I have been literally waiting. Some people have been waiting to list. They decided I'm going to list my house in 2023, and they've literally been waiting the whole time, and they're over it. Okay. A couple of months ago, I said, switch all your marketing to being a lister, right? Everything that you publish on social media, make sure it relates to being a lister. Well, not everything, but more lister than not. Okay. All the lead gen stuff we've been looking at is for listers. All of the data that's coming out where there's more opportunity is for listing. Yes, I know, Damian, you have to sell them too. I understand. But you have an opportunity now greater than we have in the past couple of years to get listings. There's more, there's a better feeling amongst potential sellers about putting their house on the market. They're more receptive to hear you talking about what their house might be worth and what's going on in the market than they were last year, right? If you spent any time doing that last year, you know it was a very, Alan, you know it was a very short conversation. Like they didn't even want to hear it. I'm not selling my house. Talk to the hand. I'm not selling my house. There's a lot more opportunity now than there was before. And you guys need to capitalize on that because I'll tell you this, the other side of the coin. All right. The sellers have to be willing to participate in the way that it works. We understand that. But the data also says in any of our counties, in any of our markets, including YOLO, which isn't in here, but including YOLO, in any of our markets, if you list it and you prep it right and you price it right, it will sell. It will sell. And it'll sell the first week. Okay? But Damian, sales are down. I understand that. One of the reasons that sales are down is there's too many listings that aren't prepped properly and aren't priced properly. When they are prepped properly and they are priced properly, that damn thing will sell. Okay? Put that all together. What do you get? More people are willing to sell their house. There's an opportunity there for me to get listings that wasn't there 6 months ago. If I do my job right and I get the seller to play ball, the listing's going to sell. What does that mean for you if those two things go right? It's simple. It's not a trick question. It means you can sell more effing real estate. It means you're going to sell more real estate. Now, I'm going to flip it to the other side. You go out and you start farming buyers, you're screwed. Okay? Unless you got buyers like Alan, and I wish we all had a bunch of them. Okay? Unless you got buyers like Alan, you're screwed. The rate's not good. Affordability's not good. They're scared. Like, it's a really tough go. The whole segment of first-time home buyers might as well be called no-time home buyers with the way things are going right now. They can't get in there. Okay? So I would focus all of my energy and all of my talking and all of my promotion and all of my advertising and all of my conversations in the public and everything else to listing. Just tell them listing. You're a listing freaking agent. What do you do for a living? I list houses. Okay. Try and grab onto some of that opportunity and try and convert it. I think it's in the Google Drive shared folder that's called like 01 New Agent Docs. It's shared with all of you. And I think the video is in there. I'll double check when I get home tonight. If it's not in there, I'll put it in there. It's called How Damian Lists Houses. Okay. I want you to watch that thing 5 friggin' times. Okay. Until you're more sick of hearing my voice than you are right now. I know you're already sick of it, but I want you to watch it 5 times until you just can't stand the sound or sight of me. And the reason I want you to do that is I want you to get my program committed to memory. I want you to be able to just blah, spit it out. Like, well, I don't know. I was thinking about selling my house. How do you market a house? Blah. There it is. This is how I do it. Now, I'm not telling you have to do it my way. You're going to tweak it and change it and make it your own. Okay. And I want you to do that. I don't want you to be a Damian carbon copy. And I don't want you to do something that you're not comfortable with. But I will tell you this, with a high level of confidence, my way works. Okay. It absolutely works. So if you can take that as a baseline and then make it your own, and you can bring it up on demand and spit it out with authority and confidence and passion, you will sign them every time. You'll sign them every time. Okay. And it's all there. I put the whole thing. Some of you probably saw it when I originally did it. I put the whole thing on video. I've never done that before. I put the whole thing on video, every step, every nuance, a few objections, a few things that come up that are very, very common and how to deal with them. I put it all on there. All you have to do is click play. That's all you have to do. Listen to it 5 times and no one will beat you. I promise no one will beat you. Yeah, Michael, what's up? Oh, 5. Michael says, give me 5. Yeah, 5 times. Do it more if you want. Okay. You can't get, who can do it right now? Can anybody do it right now? If I say to you, all right, thinking about selling my house, you've got 2 minutes, sell me. Can you do it? Michael's playing with the screen. He's halfway there. Brendan says he can do it. I believe him. Can anybody else do it, honestly? Brianna says, yeah. Alan, oh yeah, Alan, just scare him into the corner. Like you're signing. You want to get hurt? Sign. You want to get Shelby? Can you do it? Can you just rip it off? Maybe. Okay, Karen, can you just rip it off? Not sure. All right. Well, Jessica's box disappeared. I don't know. Yeah, Brendan, go.
I do have to say that it's not exactly like yours. And even though I know I could do it, I would benefit watching the video 5 times because I know there are pieces in there that I could take and make my own and be more potent.
Yeah. You know, Brendan and I talk about this all the time. My way and my approach is definitely not going to work for everybody. Like, but even if that's true, there are pieces and chunks that you can take out of there and make your own. And the content will be the same. The delivery might be different, but the content will be the same. And that's, I think, what's important. And the strategy will be the same. There's a big difference when you can say to somebody, well, yeah, I list houses in a very specific way. And I list houses using a marketing strategy and several steps that are proven time and time again. And when I don't deviate from that strategy, when I don't deviate from those steps, I can give you an extremely predictable result very, very quickly. Okay. I can show you data that will prove that. And I can show you when I didn't do it. And I can show you how it didn't go so well. When you can tell them that you have a program, a strategy, a system that is so much different than what most people will say given the same opportunity. They don't have that. They can't break it down. They can't tell you what their plan is because they don't have a plan. And they can't tell you, what would the word be? They can't tell you the negative effects from not following the plan or the benefits from following the plan. They can't articulate those. When you can do that, nobody takes business from you. Nobody. It's no different than going to buy like a computer, right? If you go in to buy a computer and one of the computer guys says, look, this computer does A, B, C, D, and E at this speed. What applications are you using? Okay, it'll run A, B, C, D, and E applications simultaneously. And you're going to save time and energy and money because you don't have to toggle between screens or whatever, right? You're like, yeah. And the other one says, you know what? Yeah, I mean, this is a really good computer. A lot of people buy this computer. It's a really good one. Right? Like a listing agent that says, well, I mean, I take great pictures and a video and I do the Matterport, we put it on the MLS and we're going to hold your house open. It's going to be friggin' awesome. No. Everybody does that. Everybody does that. Right? Articulate differently. There's your opportunity. There's what you need to do to be able to step into it. Getting your KV core online and making sure that your marketing stuff is a huge first step, because that means your sphere knows you're alive. That knows your sphere knows you're professional. That means that your sphere knows that you're data driven and understand the market and understand the nuance of what's going on. And it means that you're in contact with your sphere. Then that's going to lead into higher level communication with your sphere or their referrals. That's how you make money. Yeah, Brendan, go.
I was just going to add, if you're with KV Core, adding on to KV Core, if anybody has not synced or put their Real Scout into effect, you have to do that. It's so important.
Yeah. Real Scout's huge. It's huge. Yeah. Yeah. And you sync excuse me, you sync your contacts in KV Core with Real Scout, and it's a beautiful thing. You can run IDX for buyers, market reporting for sellers. It's beautiful. You have to do it. Absolutely have to do it. What else? Was it 43? Right on. We're doing good. Anything to add, subtract, otherwise? Needs, wants, public broadcasts. Cindy's listing goes live this weekend. You guys got to sell that sucker. Okay. Watch for that one. I don't know why she's not on screen, so I'll go ahead and promote it for her. Gated Whitney Ranch. Hi, Cindy. Gated Whitney Ranch, cul-de-sac, 4,000 square feet, master down low, master up high, a bunch of bedrooms, like 4, a bunch of bathrooms, like 4, swimming pool, completely remodeled, new floors, new paint, new this, new that, probably valued at 1.4, high 1.4s, low 1.6s, in that range. Okay. List price, 139. That baby's going to be flooded, and in a good way, not the bad way, Cindy, not the bad flood, a good flood.
1.299.
It's 1,299.
That's what, yeah, you your word. Have you listened to the recording? Please tell me that's correct.
I don't know. I thought, did I get it all the way down to 1,299?
Yes, you did. Yeah, he's expecting 1.5.
I don't even remember. Yeah. Look, guys, it's going to look like a really good deal on the MLS, right? So any clients looking to talk about, I don't think she'll mind if you, Cindy, can I ask you while you're here, can they advertise your listing? Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, take the photos, steal them, advertise them like it's yours, get it out there, get some traction on it, just so you know, anybody, and I'll say this, any of my listings that come through, you guys steal all that crap and go pretend it's yours. I don't care. I don't care. All right. Advertise my stuff everywhere. Do whatever you want. Say it's yours. Act like it's yours. I don't care. Okay. And I think probably anybody in the office would feel the same way. I think, but take that one and send it all over the place. Jessica's got one coming out. You'll have to ask her if she wants you to advertise it too. Don, he's not here, so I'll answer for him. Don's got a great one. just up the street on New Airport Road. I mean, he doesn't even go on the internet. You go ahead, advertise that one, pretend it's yours. It doesn't matter. That's our culture, right? We don't hog stuff. We want everybody to be able to use all of our stuff to generate opportunity. You guys, everybody. Jess, do you care if somebody advertises your listing? No, she doesn't care. Okay, good. All right. Thumbs up. Anything else? Questions, comments, needs, advertisements, anything?
Alta got a price adjustment a couple weeks ago. If anybody's got a buyer, 689.
Yeah, that's a good house too.
I know.
Good house. You guys look up Brianna's listing in Alta just so you have it in your brain when somebody asks you like, well, I want to live in the mountains, or I want to live close to skiing or something. I mean, that place is awesome. It's awesome. Alan, you in contract yet?
Not yet. They're gonna drag it. They're gonna drag it to the end.
You guys want to know really what's going on in the market? Alan writes a lakefront in Lake Wildwood, like 1 point some odd million, right? And I'm like, right on, dude, go get that thing. He calls me this morning and he's like, there's 5 freaking offers on it. It's crazy.
And it's not even that nice for a lakefront.
It's crazy out there.
You know, to give my 2 cents, I mean, as a developer, not as a real estate agent, just knowing the years of seeing what's happening, it's a little confusing now, just because things are a little different. But what I'm seeing is the sellers are desperate. They're desperate to get whatever equity they can have and run to whatever they can run to because they're scared. So when you get a listing, you got to overlist it. And what I mean by that, you got to list it too high because that's what they want. They want the top dollar. And most of these listings out there are overpriced.
Right.
And the people aren't ready to take offers. So if you notice, there's a lot of listings that are, a year or two ago, they didn't stay on the market. Now they're going all the way to expires, most of them. And what's going to happen, and this is my belief, I could be wrong, and probably I'm wrong 50% of the time. So bottom line is, I think price is we're going to see a lot of people hurting, and we're going to see, like we saw in the 80s, we're going to see some really good prices coming down the pipe, but people having problem buying.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad you brought that up, Alan, and that is exactly the point that I was talking about. In order for all of this to work, the seller has to play ball. So if you have the opportunity for a listing and you take that opportunity and then the seller is unrealistic about the price, or they want more equity, or they're trying to get too much, then you're going to run into that situation where it's going to sit and sit and sit and sit and sit, and it's not going to sell. Then everybody's going to be mad. So it's really, really important, that if you have that opportunity and you get that chance, you've got to make sure that they play ball. You're going to be able to process it quickly. You're going to be able to sell it quickly, because if not, I mean, in my experience, it doesn't really matter how good you are or what a good job you do. If it sits and sits and sits and sits and sits, they get mad. They just get mad.
And they have to understand the market and understand that they don't sell it now, that they're going to probably take a loss in the future. Absolutely. And also what these sellers and buyers need to understand, there's no such thing as it's a seller's market. Because if it's a seller's market, that means that there's a buyer out there. And there's no such thing as it's a buyer's market. Because if there's a buyer, that means there's a seller out there. So without one, you can't have the other. And the problem is what we're having now, we have very little buyers. We have too many sellers that want too much money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually hurting the market. So I'm looking for good deals to flip. I bid on one in Yuba City and lost it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They have to play ball or it goes backwards, and it's totally counterproductive. And if you get in that situation and I shouldn't say if, when you get in a situation where you're trying to evaluate something, you're trying to understand what you're going to propose, and you're not sure, if you're not 100% sure, give me a call.
Perfect.
Let's work through it together. I'll give you some numbers that you can present that I think are going to give you the highest rate of success. And here's a grand question of all of them. And I don't have an answer. I'm telling you right now, I don't have an answer. You have a house that you know has to be listed at $499,000 or that thing ain't going to sell. Okay. Seller says to you, I want 575. And if I don't get 575, I'm not listing it. What do you do? What do you do?
Well, I had one just like that, to be honest with you.
I know you did.
Well, I don't think you don't know this one because this was, I think, over a year ago. This one,
Oh.
this one was in Kofax.
Okay.
Had a listing. Guy calls me, wants to list his house. I go look at it. I go, this house is worth 450.
Yeah.
And as I'm telling the price, they want 500. I go,
Yeah.
this is a 454. I would list it at 447 to get that. That's, I believe in that number, the 7. It rings the head. So
Yeah.
they were all happy with what I was saying. They
Yep.
still wanted their 500 because the neighbors sold their house for 475, but it was a 500 square feet more, been updated. But this, everybody's apple is better than that other person's apple. Their
Yeah.
house was, but I couldn't tell them that house is much nicer than yours because I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot. And I
Right.
told them, well, it's the time. They just happen to get lucky, and it's the time. So I said, well, let's try yours then, but I want you to agree that we do this. I'll go ahead and list it. I'm gonna list it for 497, but I want you to agree in a month, if we don't get no action, we drop the price.
What'd they
Well,
do?
this is where honor comes in, okay? And I knew he was on board, and I knew she wasn't by the conversation, reading her eyes. Yeah, it didn't work. So in a month when I'm talking to him, and I've been talking to him, so in a month when I say, hey, what do you want to do?
Right.
We don't want to lose our time or sell. We got a small window. She's firm. She goes, well, you're not driving a Bentley like I'm a crappy agent, right? And I go, oh God, keep it cool. So anyways, I go,
Oh, you want me to drive a Bentley that you
I go-
paid for? I can do that.
That's what I said. I go, well, you wouldn't want me driving a Bentley because that means I wouldn't care about your house. So anyways, with that said, I said, well, let's try to lower it a little bit. So we lowered it. I think it was 467 or something like that. Meanwhile, I'm watching the market start to come in the direction that's coming, where if you don't sell this now, you're never going to sell it.
Yep.
So I did open house, and she was angry at me. He wasn't. So when I was with these two, it's very uncomfortable because he was cowering. And I said, let's do an open house. We'll have a party. We'll make a party of it. We'll have to invite the neighborhood, drive everybody. We'll have hot dogs and barbecue. We'll do the big deal. And I knew I was wasting a Sunday. So anyways, I go up there and I sat there by myself with just the 3 of us all day and the neighbor talking and drinking a couple beers and eating bad hot dogs. So,
Oh,
so,
yeah.
so after
All
about
right.
8 hours, the wife goes to me, so what do we do? I go, nothing. You just bought yourself a rental for 427. What do you mean? I go, well, if you don't sell this house for 427 today, you own it. It's yours. 427. That's how much you just bought it for.
Yeah.
And she looks at me scared. I go, yeah, you're losing money as we speak.
Yeah.
Lower to 427. We sold it in a week. To
Yeah.
to the only person that looked at it a month prior.
All right. Same question. Thanks, Alan. Same question for everybody else then. And you got a cheat sheet from Alan. Like, would you do it? It's $4.99 all day. It has to be $4.99 for it to go. $4.99 sells at 505. Let's say that. You know that in your soul. $4.99 sells at 505. Seller says, nope, 575 or go away. What do? Who takes it? Who takes it and works it down? Nobody else takes it?
I mean, that's kind of where I've been at with Alta.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna meet that lady Saturday and
Yeah.
we'll see. She might be a FISBO in a couple weeks.
Yep.
That's a
Shelby,
pretty
Shelby, you
large
take it?
discrepancy.
Do I take it?
Shelby, you take it?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Michael, you take it? You take it?
You know what I'm doing? I'm calling you and I'm bringing you over there.
Okay, but what if I go over there and fire up the dog and pony show big time and it doesn't change? Like they're just dug in. I mean,
What am I
they're
gonna do? Say no? No, I'm not gonna do it.
well, I don't know. Or do you take it? Yes or no?
Why would I say no? I can't say no.
That's the
Yeah.
key word, Damien. You said if they're dug in, because if they got their hands on their hips on the 500,000, I walk.
You
I don't waste
walking?
if they got their hands on, if you can tell they're one of those are unreasonable, because I've had them and I've taken them
Yeah,
and they cost me time and money.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. If they got their hands on their thing and they're firm at that moment where you know you're gonna have trouble with them. But most people, when you meet with them, you can talk to them and you can see that they understand that, yeah, they're asking the top
Okay,
dollar.
I'm with you, but what if they're really nice and they're just really feel strongly that that's what they want to do?
Data. How about data?
Then they got some kind of understanding in them and I take it.
Yeah.
And we talked like I did the one. They weren't very nice. The wife got a little angry because she wanted her 500,000, but they started off very nice. They do get
Over it.
unnice real
Totally.
fast when they get unhappy.
I
Yeah.
think I agree. So like, I think that it was a kind of a trick question, but then you guys got me thinking on a whole long another path. The quick answer is take the listing, right? Take the listing. Because most people are reasonable, and if you do a really good job and you demonstrate that something's not working, they're gonna go ahead and reduce it. It might take you a little more time. It's gonna be a little bit frustrating, but you're gonna get there. The listing's gonna sell. But to Alan's point, and this has happened to me in the past, and I've said I'm just not going to be able to help you. It's rare, but if they're really adamant, hands on the hips, you know, pointing the finger, all of that kind of stuff, and you just know that you're not going to be able to perform ever, then I think there's rare times where it's a no. Yeah, I agree. Alan, how many times have you walked? How many times have you walked?
Only walked twice, and because of the one time I wish, and I'm glad I did, because they were unsuccessful in selling their house.
Yeah.
But I will add to it on the one that I did not walk on, and I took, and I knew it was impossible, and they seemed reasonable, but the daughter did have a real stubborn attitude, and she didn't say anything nice about me. So remember that if you take a list and just because.
Yeah.
You're hurting yourself because they're not
Yeah.
saying anything nice about you.
I think I've walked twice in my entire career, and I should have walked 3 times, because the one time that I didn't walk when I knew I should have walked, it didn't go well. It went 6 months. I wanted to get a renewal. They didn't give it to me. They gave it to another agent at the price that I said I want it renewed at, and he sold it 2 weeks later.
Oh God! And then they probably badmouth you. Yeah,
They probably did.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
yeah.
All right. Good round, guys. Thank you. Anything else? Anything to add? It's 58, and I'm usually getting you out of here by 50, so I kept you a little long, but I hope that it was valuable. Anything? No? Okay, I'm gonna press the button in like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll see you later.